ordain that the elected representatives of the Irish people alone have power to make laws binding on the people of Ireland, and that the Irish Parliament is the only Parliament to which that people will give its allegiance. We solemnly declare foreign government in Ireland to be an invasion of our national right, which we will never tolerate. And we demand the evacuation of our country by the English garrison. We claim for our national independence the recognition and support of every free nation in the world, and we proclaim that independence to be a condition precedent to international peace hereafter. In the name of the Irish people, we humbly commit our destiny to Almighty God, who gave our fathers the courage and determination to preserve through the long centuries of a ruthless tyranny, and strong in the justice of the cause which they have handed down to us. We ask His divine blessing on this, the last stage of the struggle we have pledged ourselves to carry through to freedom.
Message to the free nations of the world. To the nations of the world, greetings. The nation of Ireland has proclaimed her national independence, called through her elected representatives in Parliament assembled in the Irish capital on January the 21st, 1919, upon every free nation to support the Irish Republic by recognising Ireland's national status and her right to its vindication at the Peace Congress. Nationally, the race, the language, the customs and traditions of Ireland are radically distinct from the English. Ireland is one of the most ancient nations in Europe, and she has preserved her national integrity vigorous and intact through 7 centuries of foreign oppression. She has never relinquished her national rights, and throughout the long era of English usurpation, she has in every generation defiantly proclaimed her inalienable right of nationhood down to her last glorious resort to arms in 1916. Internationally, Ireland is the gateway of the Atlantic. Ireland is the last outpost of Europe towards the west. Ireland is the point upon which great trade routes between east and west converge. Her independence is demanded by the freedom of the seas. Her great harbours must be open to all nations instead of being the monopoly of England. Today, these harbours are empty and idle solely because English policy is determined to retain Ireland as a barren bulwark of English aggrandizement. And the unique geographical position of this island, far from being a benefit and safeguard to Europe and America, is subjected to the purposes of England's policy of world domination. Ireland today reasserts her historic nationhood the more confidently before the new world emerging from the war, because she believes in freedom and justice as the fundamental principles of international law, because she believes in a frank cooperation between the peoples for equal rights against the vested privileges of ancient tyrannies, because the permanent peace of Europe can never be secured by perpetuating military dominion for the profit of empire, but only by establishing the control of government in every land upon the basis of the free will of a free people. And the existing state of war between Ireland and England can never be ended until Ireland is definitely evacuated by the armed forces of England. For these, among other reasons, Ireland resolutely and irrevocably determined at the dawn of the promised era of self-determination and liberty that she will suffer foreign dominion no longer, calls upon every free nation to uphold her national claim to complete independence as an Irish republic against the arrogant pretensions of England founded in fraud and sustained only by an overwhelming military occupation, and demands to be confronted publicly with England at the Congress of the Nations, in order that the civilized world, having judged between English wrong and Irish right, may guarantee to Ireland its permanent support for the maintenance of her national independence.
(1919-2019), commemorating the 21st of the 1st, 2019. the 100th anniversary of the Sovereign Republic of Éire, the 100th anniversary of the Sovereign Dáil Éireann government, the 100th anniversary of the Sovereign Dáil Éireann Republican Courts, Forecourts, the 100th anniversary of the War of Independence, Anno Domini 2019. I, William James McGuire, elevated and turned the Sovereign Seal of Dáil Éireann, AD 12 strings, a Celtic Christian symbol and ethos, from the rising sun to the setting sun, from north to south and from east to west, from wrong to right and from evil to good, from pagan to Christian to sovereign, as in the 1916 proclamation. And I claim sovereignty over all the elements, earth, air, fire and water, and all therein and thereof, on behalf of the sovereign citizens of the Sovereign Republic of Éire, and since elected in unison. Signed and sealed the 21st of January 2019 under the Sovereign Seal of the Sovereign Republic of Éire, William James McGuire, President of the Irish and Fenian Republican Brotherhood, President of the Sovereign Republic of Éire. You stand always, you face the sun, and on the two 5-string harps, which were on the Ark of the Covenant before the Romans changed them to two angels. All mathematics, all science, all astrology, all technology today comes from those two 5-string harps. They're over the forecourts, but they're not properly aligned. And you should know what they are. And you stand in front of, and from the rising sun, it should be east to west, from north to south, from pagan to Christian to sovereign, as in the 1916 proclamation. And the other sovereign seal will be on the other side of that, the 5 strings. And all mathematics, all science, all astronomy today, all technology used, all comes from those. The first string, that's the golden thread. It's your measuring tape, your plumb line, your straight edge. And that's where we get our civilization from there. And the harp is the covenant between God and man with all the information and knowledge for his planet Earth and our civilization. And that's where all that comes from. Earth, air, fire and water. And each of those you can see, look, that's how you build your ship. The wheel, the fellows of the wheel, sundial, compass, wheel, everything you have, latitude, longitude, crescent moon, look, mathematics, how man learned to write, how man learned to count, the abacus, hieroglyphics, everything is on that. Sunbox, soundbox, everything you want to know, all civilization is on that. Take a coin out of your pocket, 14 strings is what Ernest Blythe put on our money. And you put it up to the mirror and you see the harp of the psaltery. That's only one image, but if I put up the Lord Mayor's, that's the psaltery. The Book of Psalms is the psalter, and that's the psaltery, the instrument that comes. And look, there's the crescent moon, sunbox, soundbox, how man learned to write, how man learned to count. The first string is the Om alphabet, the first structured language of mankind. The second is hieroglyphics, and we have that. Your ancestors carried that from the Middle East right across through Europe and North Africa to Ireland. And if you go to Lochgar, all that information is there for you. You can do everything. How you build your ship, look. The keel of the ship, to the Atlantic Ocean, the lats. You know, everything is on that. All mathematics, all science, all astronomy. And that's why it should not be lost. You should teach that to your children. They'll never be lost with that. They'll always have that information. And the compass, the wheel, everything is on that. North, south, east and west, how you do that. The information is there for you. And I'd like to thank you very much. I'd like to thank the Lord Mayor for having us here. As you know, we had difficulties this year. We always have difficulties, the Irish and Fenian Republican Brotherhood. And I feel we should read James Stephen's 1858 down at 16 Lombard Street. He founded the Irish and Fenian Republican Brotherhood. And I've asked Leo Bradbury, who would make a wonderful film for this year. He walked 3,000 miles around Ireland to set up the Irish and Fenian Republican Brotherhood. And, you know, he spoke 16 languages. he and John O'Mahony, they had to go to France. Because in France they learned all this, and the Sorbonne University, and in France, and our flag. You know, we have a great country, we have great people, and we should appreciate that. And I would like to thank the Lord Mayor very much for having us here today. And thank you very much for coming again for our 100th anniversary. It's great to see we're still alive and we're still here, and thank you very much. Have I read all those? I have to show. Okay. I want you, John, would you walk around and show the people that? And where's the other one that I read? Where's the other one? Be careful. Thanks, Dennis. And John is going around with the address to the Declaration of Independence. Sure. And our territory, we have the largest territory in Europe. And if we were getting all our income from that, and the biggest territory in Europe, right from America, right across the Atlantic Ocean, right across the 32 counties of the Sovereign Republic of Ireland, to our border with Great Britain down the Irish Sea, we'd be the wealthiest country in the world. And that's what the mandate was given to those politicians on the 21st of January 1919.